Hello everyone, how's it going today? Back to work on this alien CV. A lot of really good comments and whatnot, and appreciate it. In fact, one of them had to do with what the first project of the day is going to be, and that is to probably redo these thrusters over here to get it to a more angled type of curvy thing. And I actually kind of want it to match the overall shape of the ship, kind of the oval that kind of goes across it. Now, something else was brought up in the comments, and that has to do with tinting of the windows. And yes, I learned myself from a particular person that was commenting on this, and it's really good to know. It's very easy to do once you know how to do it, but the tool, which is the multi-tool, doesn't say that it does it. So you'd have to just know what it does. So basically, you can see through here that I've got some tinted windows, and then I've got some that are clear. So I just want to switch the tinted ones to reverse the tint so it's on the other side, so it's all clear from the inside. And to do that, I go to the multi-tool and I select change and rotate, and then you just left click on the window you want to tint, just like that. And that is all there is to it. Very, very easy. Oop, that one's backwards. And there we go. So all the windows are now see-through from this angle, and they should be tinted from this angle. And that's about it. Now, one other quick thing before I move on is I'm also working on updating the MX-15 to Alpha 10. I've kind of went over the body and did a couple little body mods and added a little bit of curviness here and there, but I'm really trying to keep this looking pretty much identically to the existing ship. The interior's not finished yet, but it is going to be set up different now. It's going to have all the same functionality, but I kind of redid the layout, and I had to, of course, with the storage. So now it's going to have a little over 8K regular storage. It's going to have a number of cargo boxes yet, so you got 4 here, and you got another 4 embedded in the floor. I got more room for more. It has a shield over here, Wi-Fi detector, ammo storage is pretty decent too at 5K. That's actually quite a bit for an SV. And it's going to have the same type of thing with the passenger seats and the extra armor lockers and things like that. I also added a drone hatch to this. Now I got to rig all this, and I got to paint the interior and finish it up yet and get the lighting in and all that fun stuff. But yeah, I'm just going to do an update to the existing blueprint on this one. It's not going to be a new release. Okay, well anyway, moving on. I'm going to get started on this, and we're going to address the thrusters first, and then I might try to get into trying to work out this side area, but I'll stop and talk about what I wanted to do there when I get to it. All right. Well, for better or worse, I think I kind of like it. Let me just take a look at what the front end looks like. Um, as you can see, this thing keeps on growing. um, Now, I prefer probably to use the big thrusters, but I wanted to get some kind of lip around these. But I'm not really, don't know if I like what I got there yet or not. Maybe if it angled up a little better over here. Um, I threw in the light because I'm not 100% sure at this moment. I was trying to break up this line here a little bit. I actually would prefer it to go all the way over though, but I got this little corner piece in that's preventing me to put a block to finish it up. So, yeah, I think it blends better. I think it definitely fits the shape of the rest of the ship better. And actually, yeah, it does kind of follow that curve too, and that's the other thing I was looking to do. So that kind of settles that part. Um, I think what I'm going to do now is try to figure out what to do here. And I've been having some debates on where to put the rear thrusters. I've got a lot of space over here, and I like to keep thrusters away from the interior area as much as I can. Especially back here, it's probably going to be, again, hangar. Um, it's nice not having any like really hot components around, so I could use the space better. So I I am debating on trying to mount some thrusters back here somehow. Um, I'd like to put in the big ones. At least two, well, one on each side, or potentially four. Um, I don't know how much this thing's going to take to move yet, though. And that's another thing. I don't even know how big it's going to be. So it does get tricky trying to figure out how much thrust you're going to need for something, especially when it's not even close to finished. And this is going to be a heavy ship. I mean, this is all combat armor, so it's quite a bit there. Well, I'm going to get started on that. I'm going to toy with the idea of trying to stick some thrusters over here, kind of out of the way somehow. That's the next part. I'll start that right now. Well, interesting. I guess I don't mind that, but I now realize too that I'm missing something that I used to have there, and that's the two big side thrusters. Ah, so how in the heck could I get some big side thrusters in here if I wanted to? It's a nice place to put the thrusters though, because it's away from everything. But I did all this stuff over here and didn't leave any room to put in big beefy side thrusters. So I'm trying to figure out a way to do that. Kind of like the idea of a turret out there, but I guess it doesn't have to be. Tricky, 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 tricky. Alright, well anyway, I think I'll stop there for now and think about it a little bit more on if I want to blow away like some of this area so I could get some thrusters in, and I think I might end up doing that simply because I'm going to want those, and probably like two of the big ones per side. I think that would give it a pretty good side thrust. It's going to take a lot of power to move this ship anyway, I believe. Before I go, one other thing. Now, I haven't really done any other work on the alien stuff yet. I've been pretty busy lately, but I did. I'm going to update the MX-15, and I actually got this mostly ready right now. So I kind of cleaned up the exterior a little bit. It's Alpha 10. I added more lift thrust. I added a drone hatch. It has, it's not all rigged up or done in here yet, but I kind of rebuilt a lot of the interior already, and it's going to have a 8K storage and 5K ammo, constructors, all the new stuff. So you got your Wi-Fi and detector and a bunch of shield, bunch of traditional cargo boxes. There's 4 there and another 4 on the floor, and there's actually room for some more yet. But other than that, is going to be pretty much, I mean, if you're familiar with the other MX-15, it's going to have pretty much the same stuff going on. I am doing this one kind of like the Persis, or the newer version of the Persis, to keep it very close to the original. I did a few body mods to it. I added a little bit of curvy on the sides and kind of redid some of this stuff a little bit, and just basically cleaned up a lot of the textures. And I'm still kind of working on that. I'm going to try to get a little more detail on the body if I can. But I'm just going to update the blueprint, so it's not going to be a new blueprint. Just wanted to throw that out there. But anyway, yeah, if you got any thoughts, comments on how this thing's shaping up, let me know. It's very different from anything I've made before, so it's I'm playing with it. But this is definitely more roundy now, for better or worse. And I would like to find something else to do rather than the slip I've got here. And I still don't like what I'm doing with the big thrusters, or I'm sorry, with these thrusters, but I like the angle idea, and to try to angle 2 of the big ones there, it could be rough. Not saying it can't be done, but I don't know. The thing is, why I don't like this setup is I would bet, and I'd have to look this up and compare thrust, is I've got 2 of these and 4 of these per side now versus 1 of the big ones. And I bet you 1 of the big ones does more thrust than all these together. I think that's almost how it works. I could be wrong on that stat, or maybe it's pretty close to how it is. But from what I've remembered, 1 of these big ones equals at least 4 of those of the medium ones. They are very, very powerful thrusters. That's why you can get away with so few. And that was the concept of this ship, to keep the CPU down, where it has like 1 side thrust. But even though this is combat steel and, well, a light class 5, that allows this ship to have a 48 on both sides. And just 1 of those thrusters on the front at 48. Actually, I can find out. Hold on a second. What does this have for stats right now? So reverse thrust total between the two, or I'm sorry, forward thrust is 50, and that is running technically 4 of the mediums and 8 of the small ones to achieve 50. So there's some other talk too, and I seen it on some comments on the newest ship I put out too. They're saying that it's these big thrusters are power hogs. Well, I don't agree. For the thrust they do, they're more efficient than a bunch of these. So I don't think they are a power hog. I mean, yes, they use a lot of energy, but they create a lot of thrust, where these create far less thrust, and that they use less energy. But I believe, and I'd have to test this, but I believe that this would be more fuel efficient if I had 2 of the big ones up here, and probably more powerful, versus all of this stuff. And I think it would actually get better gas mileage. Okay, well, y'all have a good day. Hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'm going to keep on thinking about things and then try to keep on doing this format until it gets complete eventually. Gonna take a while to build this one though. No kidding. I'm already scared to death of the interior. I didn't realize quite, when I'm looking inside here, man, there's a lot of space, and technically I could probably do some access points that go way out to these areas right now. However, yeah, it's probably going to be filled with thrusters over here too. But it's kind of neat because once all this is said and done, I should be able to not have any thrusters in the back side of the ship. And if I can keep, I might even try to throw in the big parts, like I'm sure I'm gonna need a couple of the big generators at least, and I'm gonna try to get those on the sides too, and that's gonna free up a whole ton of space on the inside of this thing. And maybe, who knows? Still don't think it's a mothership, but it's gonna be pretty good sized. I do believe. I expect it probably ended up being I'll probably have a struggle to keep it class 10 like I did with the Persis CV2, the Gigacore, and the Cerberus NG. Okay, y'all have a good day. Hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks a lot.